All right. Hey, you guys. I am Haley Hobson. I'm here with my friend and business partner, Tom Polifka, and we are going to talk to you today about how to build an essential oils business. I know this is like a hot topic for the last couple of years, and I personally have built a massively successful one over just about 3.5 years. So Tom and I got together, and we are excited to talk to you about how you can do it too. So I'm going to introduce Tom. Tom, you want to talk about yourself a little bit?
Absolutely. Thanks, Haley. Yeah, really excited for today. This is something that's been long coming, I think. And basically a little bit about myself. I've been an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember. I joined doTERRA with the full intent of building a business. And that's why I wanted to team up with Haley today and kind of talk about the best ways to get started and why doTERRA. So, a little bit about me. I've basically spent the last 7 years or so being involved in a couple different businesses, but real estate, online marketing, and then also owning a traditional business as well. And learned a lot, benefits of and cons, pros and cons of both. And definitely want to share with you why we should be looking at more passive income and what doTERRA can provide.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Haley Hobson. I have been building doTERRA for the last 3.5 years. I've reached the rank of double presidential diamond, which is the highest rank in the company, twice. I have been a big fan of being a holistic and having a healthy lifestyle for the last 20 years. I actually quit a career as a bankruptcy attorney back in about 2000 and I don't know, maybe 15 years ago to actually become a Pilates and yoga teacher. And then for the last many years, I've been a holistic health coach, a life coach, and because of my doTERRA business now, have become a 7-figure earner, entrepreneur, and speaker and author as well. So welcome, you guys. I am happy to have you. And I know that Tom is as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, getting started in this whole process, we wanted to kind of talk about, how do you evaluate an opportunity? What's the key criteria that you're going to be looking at? And number one is going to be the company. When you look at a company, you want to make sure it's a rock solid company. You don't want to put your name, and I don't want to put my name with a company that may not have the best interest of their customers or communities in mind. Two is the need, the need for the product or service that you're looking at. You want to make sure that there is a massive need for this. And then the product itself. So the product, you really want to make sure that, it aligns with what you believe in. And also, obviously the product itself should be a quality product that many people want. And then fourthly, you're going to look at the compensation. Obviously, if you're going to be selling a product, you want to get compensated for it. And you want to make sure it's the best option out there in order to maximize your earnings for the efforts that you're putting in. And then lastly, you're going to look at timing. And timing is really important with anything you do in life and business. I've learned the hard way. But I think if you don't look at the timing of an opportunity, you want to make sure that that's something on your list too. So is there anything else you wanted to add in there, Haley?
No, I mean, that's great. I think it's super important to look at all of these things. And that's the exact evaluation that I went through when I personally was building my business. I knew that I wanted, as a yoga teacher, as a Pilates teacher, a residual income flow into my business. I knew that my business, even though I was working for myself, by myself, as I thought an entrepreneur, I really wasn't. I was just kind of like, a business owner that was working by the hour. And I knew that I needed some type of product, some type of company to come in with me and that would pay me amazing compensation. And doTERRA was the choice that I made based on the need that there is in the market for this product and the unbelievable compensation plan, which we'll talk about. So what makes doTERRA unique is, well, first of all, it's the largest essential oil company in the world. And I don't mean to say that because it's the largest, it's the best. What I mean to say is that there's a reason it's the largest. doTERRA's been around about 7 years right now, and they have done in about 4 or 5 years what other companies have taken 20 years to do. And those numbers themselves basically speak the truth. Because the product is so good, because the product is so pure, because there's so much testing and science around it, because we're getting our oils from the best indigenous regions around the world, best climates, best growers, best testers, best relationships, our product is standing far above and beyond any other essential oil company in the world. And some other great things besides just being awesome in having a great oil itself, which is obviously super important, but the company is actually really product focused. And what I mean by that is a lot of companies, you do well because you're selling the opportunity. And the difference here is that we actually have a product that works. So we have a very high retention rate, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And that makes it a very sustainable income because your customers will use the product over and over and over again. And what you'll find is, what I've found is that even people who decide they want to take a break from building a business, or they want to take a break from ordering, let's say every single month, they do all come back at some point because there is such a need for this product. Some other great things about doTERRA that makes them unique is that they're completely 100% debt-free with no outside interest or funding. The owners basically went into their own pockets and basically liquidated everything that they had to build this company. And they're teaching all of their wellness advocates to become debt-free as well. So that's really important. And they are led by an amazing executive team of business, marketing, and healthcare professionals who cumulatively have about 150 years of experience in this industry. And I'm probably biased when I talk about them because I spend so much time with them annually, going to different summits or retreats or leadership events or conventions or even vacations. I'm on my way to Europe with many of them, all of them actually, in the next week. So I have the opportunity to sit down next to them at dinners and at breakfast and hang out in parks and beaches. And I have to tell you, this is one great group of individuals with morals that are hands down the best around. And you just can't beat that. This company is not run by one person's overall dominant opinion. We have 7 votes here all the time from 7 really decent human beings.
Yeah, that's super exciting. Coming from Haley's experience, obviously you want to trust somebody who's been in the business for a while, and it's hard to trust somebody right away from the first experience. And that's kind of why we're doing this today as well, as try to get a little bit more acquaintance with not only ourselves, but with the company. So, when we look at growing companies and business models, I would say, doTERRA is at the peak of what they do. Haley had mentioned they had started about 7 years ago. And during that time period, they really had an exponential growth curve. When you look at this chart here, it's actually comparing doTERRA to companies like Apple Computer, which obviously most people are aware of, and some other companies within the network marketing space, such as Nu Skin and Herbalife. And what has taken them 15, 16 years to accomplish hitting $1 billion mark, doTERRA has done within 7 years, which is great. But really what you want to look at is how did they get there? And when you look at annual sales over $1 billion, they're an international business operating in Europe, Asia's, Australia, Central America, North America, and they have a leading retention rate. So we'll talk about that on the next slide, but there's a lot of importance about keeping customers, and obviously if you don't have a product that's popular and people want, it's going to be hard to retain customers. And one of the things I think I want Haley to talk a little bit more about is this co-impact sourcing. Maybe just briefly give a little bit of your history with some of the growers and why doTERRA has gone this path.
Yeah, I think that what we've realized is that we want to help other people become sustainable basically in their own environment. And, a lot of essential oil companies will go and they'll grow their own oils locally, or they might grow out of greenhouses. And what we've decided to do, because of our commitment basically to other human beings, and to you guys as product users, is to find the best land, to find the best climate, the best altitude, the best rainfall, and the best people to work with, and literally travel all over the world until we find that spot. oftentimes they are in underdeveloped countries. I'd say probably 75% or maybe even more of our oils are grown in underdeveloped countries. And what we're doing is we're working with those people to help them become more sustainable in their lifestyles. So we're basically paying them oftentimes ahead of time so that they can actually manage the crops. And we are paying them far and above and beyond what they're normally used to paying. So they're really incentivized and motivated to work with us. They actually enjoy working with us. Like, we're really a blessing in their lives, and they're a blessing into ours as well by giving us the best product at the end use. And, you know, this sort of co-relationship, this co-op relationship with them on the, you know, front end and us on the back end is really this revolving door that so beautifully fits together and helps them build up their lives. It helps us get a great product. It helps us with the relationship with them, helps you guys get the best product. And it, again, like I said before, it helps them become socially responsible. Is that what you're looking for, Tom?
Yeah, and actually later on we do have a little bit more information about it, but I know that you've had more experience with some of the growers and
Oh, yeah, I mean, personally, I've actually been to some of these countries. I've been to Haiti. I was there 2 years ago, or maybe that was even, no, I was there 2 years ago. I was just recently this past year in Australia and met our growers in New Zealand. I'm on my way actually next week to Romania, Bulgaria, Switzerland. We've got growers there. So I've been able to actually one-on-one meet the growers and have relationships with them myself and see the impact. My husband actually just got back from Nepal a couple of weeks ago, and see the impact that we're having on their lives. We have photos that we can share. They're all over our Facebook pages. We have videos on doTERRA websites. It's really life-changing for everyone. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I wanted to hit back on one other thing that was in that previous slide, which was retention. You know, and this is honestly why I'm here with doTERRA, or at least one of the major reasons. Retention at 65%. So you see this number, and what does it all mean, and why is it important to you as somebody looking to join a business? Well, coming from my past experience with other businesses, whether it be traditional franchise, you want a customer that's going to come back time and time again. And the only reason why they're going to come back is if you offer them a product or a service that they want. And so this number, 65%, what it means is that in a given time period, in this case 3 months, they're likely to come back and make another order, versus the compared average of 8% for the industry, which, if you had 100 people making an order and 65 of them come back within a few month time period to make another order versus only 8 of them, there's a big difference in your income as well as your reliability of that income. And that's one of the major reasons, why doTERRA separates themselves from not only the industry, but other companies as well. And then, it's going to attract new business builders. To be honest, that's, like I said, that's why I'm here. And that's why I saw an important decision was really looking at not only the growth of the company, the quality of the product, but how well does it retain customers just from the product perspective? Anything you want to hit on that, Haley?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's spot on. I know that I've had people actually start in other companies and decide that wasn't a fit for them and come over to doTERRA. And the reason that they came over was because they felt like they were literally rebuilding their business every single month. And what I like about my business now that I've been in it for several years is I might not hit the rank that I'm used to hitting by the 15th of the month, which is only halfway through the month, but by the 15th, I'm making a very sustainable, almost at my rank income. I could literally walk away and take the last 2 weeks of the month off if I wanted to, and I know that in a year from now, I'm going to have so much retention that I will be hitting this rank that I'm at right now by the 15th of the month, and know that I can really have what's called a lifestyle that's completely financially and time-free. And I think that that's super important. When you have to sit there and grind every single month to rebuild your business, that means that you're in a brick and mortar business, or it means you're with a company where the retention isn't high enough. And what I love about doTERRA is that this 65% is average. It's amazing. And like I said before, and like Tom said, since you're getting paid on your sales volume, it's just growing every single month because we're retaining a lot and we're bringing in new, and sometimes the new customers want to build. It definitely shows that our product is where it needs to be. And, you know, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is going back to, I mentioned this before, is going back to the fact that what you're looking for when you build a business, you want something that people need. You know, I know that there's a lot of luxury items out there. People do really well in a lot of other companies by selling many different products that are fun. But I have to say to you that it's easier when the public needs your product. And what is a given fact is that 73% of the general population now is looking for more natural ways to improve their health. And at this point now, believe it or not, 51% of the general population has actually used essential oils. And of that statistic, only 13% are actually familiar with doTERRA. So there is a really big market share out there.
Yeah, and those are some staggering numbers. I mean, if you really look back and look at 73%, you know, this was a study done that kind of basically called on a bunch of these different customers of different products and different services, and really looked at, you know, the general population is what they're calling them, and it's staggering. And for obviously what we've shown doTERRA's sales to be within a short period of time, really the market is still vastly untapped. So I guess, you know, looking at the product, again, it's the product focused sharing model that doTERRA really emphasizes. It's something that it's important to understand that not everyone wants to do this business, but that's not bad. Actually, you want customers. You want a lot of customers. And what doTERRA has done is obviously has a product that's very popular. People love it. They want it. They keep reordering it. And about 85% of all wholesale wellness advocates are really looking at just trying to get a discount on the product they love. And then about 15% are looking to really do it as a business, like myself, like Haley, and obviously you're listening to this because you have a similar intention as well. So I think, you know, you want to make sure you have customers. That's how you get paid, is on sales. And that's really important to have, you know, this model where you're not, like I think Haley mentioned before, that you're not focusing on just getting builders, but really building a loyal community of customers.
That's awesome. And so one of the things you guys want to know about doTERRA is that they're really different when it comes to how pure their oils are. We have a standard that we adhere to, which is called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, CPTG. And what it means is that our oils are pure, they're safe, and they're potent. And what I mean by pure is I mean that they contain no compounds, no artificial ingredients, no fragrances, no fillers, no contaminants. They're actually a grade above organic. So when you go ahead and test something for organic, there's a certain amount of testing that you adhere to. There's actually more that we do when we're testing these oils. And it can be actually quite complicated. I'm not going to go into all of the science right here, but I do advise you guys to go over to doTERRA's YouTube channel. They have an official YouTube channel, and they've got some amazing videos there on the science and several on how the company tests their oils. It's a method far and beyond what any other company is doing right now. No one has actually stepped up and said that they're doing the same thing. The oils are safe. They're tested to be free of harmful chemicals or toxic impurities. FYI, they're not tested on any animals or anything like that. I always get that question. They're really potent. They're standardized active compounds. And what this means is that they're real oil. They work. 1 drop, 2 drops is enough. So with that said, be careful. Make sure you're using your product catalog or, you know, a great book that you have on about essential oils so that you can learn how to use them. But it's not rocket science. They're basically plant extracts, and with a little bit of education, you can actually learn to be quite an expert. We talked a little bit about the helping communities, and I'm not sure if we wanted to go into anything else about this, Tom, I had mentioned before that I've been to some of these areas and that we are working with a lot of these growers who have very limited access to information, and we often use these, middlemen, which we're now taking out, and instead we have now organized cooperatives that we can actually teach and train and build with these people side by side. Tom, is there anything else you wanted to add?
I did. I just wanted to, recently we had that phone call with one of those growers from Australia. Was it Australia or New Zealand?
It was New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah. The guys that they grow Douglas fir, and the interesting thing about that I thought was it's actually considered a weed in their state or their country, and so what it allows them to do is they actually are able to harvest this. They are able to make a living, harvesting something that is actually considered the government doesn't want in their on their land. And so it was a very interesting conversation with them. I just wanted to throw that in there. I know there's a lot of other stories about, I know your husband, Wes, recently went over to Nepal to visit where they harvest wintergreen. And it's really exciting to kind of see the different communities that are being impacted.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm excited to get to the next couple countries next week, so I'll give you guys some more details. So let's switch the topic a little bit and talk about how it works to actually start the business. A lot of people want to know what the startup fee is, how do they do it, how can they make money? These are standard questions, of course. And so let's talk about that for a little bit. I mean, the best way to get started, in my opinion, is an enrollment kit. You can surely do it by purchasing what's called the introductory packet, which is just a $35 fee. And boom, you're a wellness advocate. And by the way, wellness advocate is anybody. I mean, you can enjoy the products as a customer, you can share the products casually, or you can build a business. It's just the term that we use if you have a wholesale account. But if you don't want to buy product, you can surely just spend $35 and sign up. I don't recommend that, because I think that if you're going to do the business, you would want the product. The more you use the product, the more you're going to be able to sell the product. I like to say, if you are a product of the product, you are the most successful. But anyway, if we did go with an enrollment kit, there are several. They start as low as $150 for some of the sample size kits. You'll see the little image on the bottom right there. That's one of the smaller kits. And then we have larger kits that have more benefits, that obviously have a lot more product, that have a lot more freebies in them. And they, as you can see, when you see some of them, they actually are what we call business size. Although I've surely had customers buy the largest kits as well, just because they want to do a complete overhaul on their life. So you would basically start with a kit, and once you choose a kit, then boom, you're a wellness advocate, and then you get plugged in to the loyalty rewards program, which is where you can order monthly if you want to, and earn more free product back literally every single month. So you have the opportunity to earn 10 to 30% extra back in product credit and earn an extra free product a month simply by opting into this program. It's by no means obligatory, but it is, in my opinion, kind of necessary if you want to build the business and continue to order product and obviously qualify to earn money. And what you'll also get when you enroll with doTERRA, specifically with me, with Tom, with our team, is that you get comprehensive training from us, from our great leaders. And I do believe that you want to be on board with somebody who you feel like you'll get the best support from. I mean, obviously there's lots of great people out there. So I encourage you, to pick a person that you have a great relationship with and that will support you best. And I know that Tom and I can do that. But in addition to getting your product, getting your wholesale account open, getting a comprehensive training program, access to a virtual back office, and access to our private Facebook groups, I've just recently developed a brand new support, training, and marketing platform. And this is actually called nourishsuccess.com. And what I love about the site personally is that there's a free option where you can have access, as you see on this image, to lots of trainings that I've done. how to get started, how to set up your account, how to navigate your office, how to set up your loyalty rewards, how to bring in a new person. But the premium site, which is just a nominal fee, probably the cost of maybe 3 coffees a month. The cost of, if you go and opt into the premium version, you have dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of other high quality videos from lots of other top leaders in this company, and the opportunity to also share these videos and the presentations with people that you're working with specifically. So it's a very easy and duplicatable way to actually get educated yourself, educate others, onboard them into your business or as product users, and help them get the training and support that they need as well. This is a site I've been working on for months, developing, and I'm actually super excited right now to say that it just launched and it's doing phenomenal. Tom, is there anything you want to add about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you hit on a topic that most people may not understand, which is duplication. I think when you look at starting any job, let's say you go to work, and my mom always used to say, give it 6 months before you're comfortable, and able to handle all those tough questions. And it's like, it's the same thing with any venture you get into. There's going to be a learning curve. Well, the power of this business model is really to be obviously learning from people who have done it before you, and not trying to recreate the wheel in a sense. And really what this platform does is it makes it super easy. And all of these resources are there. They're going to be continually growing, like Haley was talking about. We're planning to add plenty of other resources, videos, trainings, how-tos, but not a lot of other companies, leaders have this type of platform available. And for the cost, it's definitely well worth it. If you're going to be having a business and wanting to grow, you want to basically be able to duplicate your efforts. And that's the quickest way I think you can do it.
Yeah. And so let's talk about how you would actually grow your business. A lot of people have done really well growing their business with in-person educational classes. I love this because it's not like your typical party environment where you're just selling product to people, but you're actually educating people on how to choose a more alternative approach to their lifestyle. I personally have built a large part, probably the majority of my business, on social media, doing webinars, doing conference calls, and then sitting down one-on-one with people in person. I just did that last night and enrolled somebody locally. Tom and I worked like that as well, but I've actually been very successful sharing on social media platforms. I know Tom does that too. And the nice thing about being here with us is that that's part of the training that you get from us.
Yeah, I think, part of the reason why I, chose to work with Haley and was really excited about the opportunities because, as I mentioned before, I've spent the better part of a decade marketing online, and so I already had a passion or an affiliation with knowing how that works, and really being able to jump onto a team that has the ability to work on a global scale, and really to spread the message to a lot more people, versus some of the in-class or in-person classes are amazing ways to experience the oils. I think that's one of the things it's hard to do online, or actually it's impossible to do online. It's something that, obviously smelling them, the sensations, that's why Haley does the one-on-ones. That's why I, do sit downs with my, business associates and friends and family and help them understand, the power of the product, the essential oils. But definitely, there's a lot of different ways to build this business, which is exciting, I think, for anybody.
So let's talk a little bit about how to get paid as well. There's many different options on how to get paid. Not necessarily options, you actually get to choose them all. But the first way that we get paid is what's called our Fast Start bonus. I know that people want to know how they can make money right away. And we have our basic plan, which is based on sort of a uni-level hybrid structure, which means that you're getting paid, and I'll talk about this in a bit, a percentage on different levels in your organization. But that can take a long time to build. So what doTERRA does, which I think is actually really generous, and I actually use this part of the bonus to invest back in my business, is they pay you weekly what's called this fast start bonus. So it means that you can literally be profitable the minute that you sign up a new customer or somebody wants to build this business. And all that has to happen is that you're on the loyalty reward program, you're processing 100 PV minimum a month to receive this, and it's based on who the person is that enrolled the new person. So for instance, if I enroll Tom, then I get paid 20% of anything that he brings in, anything that he purchases his first 60 days. And then if he brings somebody in, he gets paid 20% of that new person, and I get paid 10, and my enroller gets paid 5. So it's a 3-level bonus. It's an enroller to enroller to enroller. That means the person who literally signed up each person. It's 3 levels deep, and it's a 20%, 10%, and then 5% scale. I've got good news for some of you guys. Unilevel, which we're going to talk about in a minute, which is kind of your long-term residual investment, takes a long time to build, but it will be the biggest part of your paycheck long-term. It is for me. And this bonus here, this fast start, can still be so awesome if you're a person who's doing great business. I am personally making a 6-figure income just on this fast start bonus. That means just literally the people that I bring in weekly, monthly, and then the people that they bring in over the course of time. So you can live off of this bonus alone, even though the other bonuses are fantastic. Tom, you want to talk about the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to hit on that, I think, for anyone that's starting off, they want to know, how do I get paid? How do I get paid quickly? And I think that's why doTERRA came out with this, is they understood that they had a great unilevel compensation long-term, but they wanted to fill the gap. Part of the other way that they fill that gap is what they call a power of 3 team bonus, which really, you'll see a lot of different drawings there. It can be a little bit confusing, I would say, to somebody that's looking at it with fresh eyes, but understanding that the more you can duplicate your efforts through other people, there's different levels. So the first level is a $50 bonus. Basically, if you get 3 people to have a team volume, so those 3 people that you enroll plus yourself in a given month, as long as you have 600 total volume in that group, then you're going to get that $50 bonus. And then you go down from there, you get $250 all the way up to $1,500 on that 3rd level. So really, it's going to incentivize you to build out a team that can duplicate itself. And what the best thing about that is that it minimizes your efforts, your work. In the long term, building out a very successfully structured team, which I know Haley is an excellent source to look at as far as how to structure a team. And I'm not sure if she wanted to touch on anything else there, but definitely a great way to add additional income.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great bonus too that can not only get paid once, but can get paid multiple times. So once you've set up your first original 1,500 and you've got your 3 leaders on that first level, and they're building out theirs, you can go ahead and build a 4th leg leader, a 5th leg leader, a 6th leg leader. And once you have the 6th leg leader, they can build out their structure. You can help them and you can get the bonus again. So as a double presidential diamond, I actually need 6 legs to be presidential and another 6 to be double. So I get this bonus 4 times. It's really nice. I would say my best piece of advice for this, although I don't want to dive super deep into this and have this be a compensation training, is just that the people that you are going to build organizations with should really be builders. Like, you don't want the people that you're filling up these 3x3 structure with to be customers. Otherwise, the whole sort of statue falls apart, comes crumbling down. So we'll give you lots of training once you come in to set up your structure really well. And then, like I said, the main bonus is really going to be your unilevel bonus. And this is paid monthly. We end the month on the last day of the month. Then we have a 2-week commission run period. And then this monthly bonus, along with your power of 3 and whatever rank bonus or leadership pools you get paid, which we'll talk about next, will be paid on the 15th of the month. So on your level 1, you'll get paid 2% of anybody that's there. Level 2, 3%. Level 3, 5%. Level 4, 5%. Going all the way down to 7%. And then the nice thing about this is that we get paid more on the bottom versus the top. So if you actually flip this and you pay out 7% on the top and 2% on the bottom, and you have the exact same numbers in there in terms of people, in terms of volume that they're ordering, you get paid basically double the way that we have this set up. There are many companies, and we actually have comp plan comparisons that we can show you one-on-one if you're interested, but there are many companies that actually have this flipped, and our commissions are doubling or tripling many of them. So you can just see right here how huge unilevel can be on your level 7 when it's filled out and you've got over 2,000 people in your organization. You could be making $32,000 a month just in unilevel. And believe it or not, I know this sounds crazy, but there are people out there that are making 50, 60, 70, 100,000 plus dollars a month just in unilevel commissions, okay? And then our last bonus is our leadership pool, which is another extremely generous bonus by the company. And what's happening here is that depending on your rank, you're getting a share of the company's gross profits. Yes, gross profits. So a typical share for a silver, gold, platinum is about $150. As a silver, you get paid 1 of those shares. As a gold, you get paid 5. As a platinum, you'd be paid 10. So you can earn as a platinum an additional on top of your 1,500 power of 3, on top of your thousands of dollars in unilevel, on top of your fast start bonuses. You can earn up to another $1,400 to $1,800 a month just by being a platinum. And then you move into what's called the diamond or the blue diamond or the presidential diamond bonus pool. And this is kind of a crazy pool where the diamonds are earning several $1,000s more as a diamond, you know, anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 more. Blue diamonds could be earning anywhere from $7,000 to $11,000 more, and presidential diamonds could be earning $20,000 plus more a month. And this is really based on not only the company's gross profits, but also on how well your personally enrolled leaders are doing. So the more you empower other people to do well, the more shares of the bonus pool you get, which is quite phenomenal. I've had months all over the globe as a presidential diamond where I'm just simply getting the share, or I might be getting 2, 3, 4, 5 extra shares because people are hitting certain ranks, and it can blow your mind. So this can be quite a lot of money once you're hitting these leadership pools. And this is an example really of the average salary at every rank. So, you know, somebody who's a silver who might be building slowly or just getting started or maybe building part-time, $26,000 is no joke as extra residual income to some people. And as a gold, you know, close to $60,000 a year is, again, no joke to people. And by the time you're hitting the ranks of platinum or diamond, you might be doing this business full time. You are definitely making a 6-figure income. And then the ranks of blue diamond and presidential diamond for a lot of people would be absolutely life-changing for them. And I have to admit that, you know, I was one of those people who just looked at these numbers in the beginning and thought, oh my gosh, I will never be one of those people. Those people are just different people. They're special people to be able to hit the ranks of blue diamond and presidential diamond. And I actually hit the rank of blue diamond after 1 year and presidential diamond after 13 or 14 months, and did the whole thing again a year later. So I'm telling you guys, from somebody who's been there, from somebody who's just a regular, normal person, this can be done with a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's impressive about the compensation plan. I think overall, I mean, obviously the bigger numbers can be intimidating, but I think understanding that it's going to take time. Not everyone's going to build as fast as somebody else, but you know, understanding that the opportunity to make money initially is there with the fast start bonus, power of 3 bonus. The unilevel, like Haley was talking about, can take a little bit longer. And then really the performance pools, if you think about it, what's really interesting is when you look at a company that's doing $1 billion in sales and they're taking gross profits. So gross profits are basically before they take out for taxes and other items, other expenses. So you're getting a big chunk of a company that's growing very rapidly. And I think as that continues to grow, it just basically incentivizes everyone to work as a team. I think it's great. So, I mean, one of the things that's exciting lately is there's a incentive trip that we get to go to Cancun next January. and both Haley and I are competing hard for first place dibs on presidential suite down there. But I mean, it's a great way, and I know Haley can talk to this in a minute, but it's a great way to meet the executive team. Obviously, if in some of these situations, you can actually have the ability to have sit-down dinners with them, and really getting away from your day-to-day, being incentivized, being rewarded for your hard work, and then meeting all these other different people from across doTERRA as well. Maybe you can touch base on some of your past experiences, Haley.
Yeah, I've been to every incentive trip since I started. In fact, the very first two, I believe I won the grand prize. And then last year I slipped a little bit, went into second place, but it's been a great trip. And even if I didn't win it at all, I would actually buy the trip. I would actually spend the money and go, because you have the opportunity to not only have a vacation somewhere awesome, but you also have the vacation to spend time with other people who are completely like-minded and like to have the same kind of fun that you like to have in doTERRA. Right now, Wes and I have so many friends from all over the globe that are in our business, that are in not only our downline, that are in cross lines with us. We absolutely love spending time with all of them, and you, hopefully, if you come on board. We just find that we have something different, something in common with these people, and it's just an unbelievable week. And like Tom said, you have the time to sit down and have dinner with the owners, or hang out on the volleyball court, or hang out in the pool or the ocean. And these are invaluable moments. And for my husband, I think this was the thing that made him actually wake up and see that this was a legitimate business, because I was here, I was building, I was probably getting checks at a certain point of $15,000 a month. And he thought it was really good money, but he just didn't understand the company, the business model. And once he had a chance to really get to know these guys firsthand, and some of the other people that were doing the business that were at some of these higher levels, it was really quite amazing for not only me, but for him as well. And so I definitely encourage everybody to make a shot of this if they're going to come. And look, I hope to see you there. I've had so much fun on all of these trips. We've been to the Dominican Republic. We've been to Cancun. We're on our way to Cancun. We were in Tulum. We've had so many great trips, and these are the best times of the year for me.
Yeah, I think one of the other things too that you had mentioned, Haley, is that meeting other people. There's always different ways of building businesses, like we were talking about, and being able to talk with other advocates and kind of picking their brain as far as how things are working for them, and giving you new ideas. And then another thing to think about too is obviously I'm a guy and Haley's a woman, and we have our respective spouses. And I know that a lot of times people can, whether it's the man in the family or the woman of the family, their spouse may not understand, or potentially, hopefully not, but potentially not completely support a decision. And I think bringing them to some of these incentive trips, or even events, conventions, these kind of things really show them that it's a valid business. It's a business that has a long-term financial benefit for the family too. So just kind of hitting on the timing of the opportunity. I mean, right now is an amazing time. The company's growing fast. People want more natural solutions. I created a community called Natural Parent Solutions, and really, I have 2 young daughters. I wanted, to create a house full of more natural products instead of using toxic stuff. So I think more and more people are going that route. 13% of that general population that we talked about before is familiar with doTERRA. So if you look at, that other 87%, if I'm doing my math right, 87% of the population that doesn't know of doTERRA, there's an amazing potential to help educate them on the power of these products. And then, the medical care costs are definitely skyrocketing. I mean, it's ridiculous, what you're paying. And if you can find solutions to certain concerns you have using more natural products, I think more and more people are going to go that route.
Exactly. So you guys, just to sum up, why are people joining doTERRA right now? Well, some of it's obvious. The product is absolutely incredible. And oftentimes many of us are looking for another revenue stream. People are looking for more flexibility in their lives. They don't want to sit down, have a 9 to 5 anymore. They want to be able to create the life that they love on the clock that they want to have. And another thing that I love about this type of business model, specifically doTERRA, is that there is a huge personal development part of this business. Like, you have no idea probably what that even means as you're sitting here listening to this, but what you have to kind of go through yourself to build this business really does make you a better person. And if you are a person who desires a personal and professional growth, you're in the right place right now with a company that wants to make a huge positive change in this world.
Yeah, and I think, hitting on that professional and personal growth, I've always been a person that has enjoyed understanding business, but really you have to understand yourself and really get better at, understanding why, you want to do the things you want to do in life. And to be honest, network marketing, direct sales, really, this is the best place to learn these things. And you are going to be surrounded by people that want the same thing for you, which I think is very important. So, looking at this whole thing, you want to know, what's my next step, right? I mean, what do I need to do to really get this thing started? If you're at that point where you've made that decision, hopefully we've answered most of your questions about how to build an essential oil business with doTERRA. So number one, you want to become a wellness advocate. And just in a minute, I'll talk about the enrollment kits that we were explaining before, but you want to get trained. And Haley mentioned her nourishsuccess.com site, which is an amazing resource. Plus, you're going to have training from all of your leaders, all of your teammates, and really a great part of the whole process is just getting familiar with the products too. So you want to share the products. The next step in this really, after starting and getting trained, is really getting out there and just sharing the products that you like and you love. And then earning commissions. The Fast Start Commission we were talking about before, 20% on any new wellness advocate that starts. And so you're going to earn that first week commission, and that's really going to help you get started. And then you're going to build your team. And again, going back to the training, you're going to learn how to build your team through various resources, one of which is that Nourish Success site. And I don't know if, Haley, if you want to hit on anything else before we go over a couple different kit options.
No, I think that's great. I mean, this is the steps. We're going to get you guys signed up, get you trained, get you sharing, get you earning money right away, and have you building your team. There's many different ways to get started. As we talked about earlier, we talked about the $35 introductory packet. We've talked about different kits that you can get. I have a couple of pictures here of some of the kits, starting from the small end, which is more of like a sample size kit, which is the Home Essentials. This is a popular product kit for people who want to use the product, to a more comprehensive kit like the Natural Solutions, which sometimes people who want to build a business will gravitate towards because it's got a little bit more product in it, all the way up to something like this, which is the Diamond Kit, which actually has everything in the product line. And a lot of people who do want to jumpstart their business will just jump all in and grab a kit like this. So it doesn't matter what kit you get. Obviously, you want to fit something that goes with your own personal budget. Eventually, you will own everything in the Diamond Kit. You kind of have to in order to do this business successfully. This is the kind of company that you will use everything, believe it or not, you actually will. All of their products are amazing. There isn't any part of the product line that I don't personally use myself, except the trim shakes, which are not vegan, but there is a vegan version, so I use those. And so, like I said before, the bigger the kit you get, the more you're going to save. As you see here with this Diamond Kit, you're saving almost $1,000 in this kit because they're throwing in so much free product and a 400-point credit towards your next purchase after your monthly order. And as you go smaller, you save less and you get less credit. So I really advise you to look at the website doTERRAtools.com/enroll-kits so you can take a peek. But then you hop on the phone with Tom or I or whoever might have sent you to this specific webinar. It's probably us. Unless you're on our team and you're using this webinar. But I suggest that you hop on the phone with us and we let us walk you through the pros or the cons or the advantages or disadvantages of different kits so that you make the most intelligent decision when you sign up. I think it's important to know what you're getting when you sign up. It's a big decision. Not that everything's not returnable, but you can't upgrade once you start small and get those fast start bonuses or fast track bonuses. But you can always, add more products. So I think that it's, again, just really important that you get educated, go to the site, doterratools.com/enroll-kits. That's not where you will sign up to get your Wellness Advocate account. It's just simply where you can look at the kits. You'll touch base with Tom, you'll touch base with myself. We will educate you more. We'll help you make a decision that fits with your product needs and your budget. And we will help you start your journey. So I just want to thank all of you for showing up. And Tom, thanks to you for joining me.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great time, Haley. Definitely appreciate taking your time to go through this with me. And I think, we've gone over a lot today. There's definitely going to be questions. So definitely reach out to the person who brought you here, and we'll be happy to help you get started.
Thanks, you guys.
All right. Thank you.